Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the RealNext webinar series. Today, we'll be talking about magical marketing, ways in which we can automate and streamline your marketing, business development, and prospecting, from real campaigns out of your CRM to the creation of flyers in Marketplace to the full suite of marketing and collateral that can be created in Market Edge, from flyers, brochures, offering memos, BOVs. We make it fast, easy, enter the information once, and it can be output in multiple channels. So Matthew Smith is here to take it away. I'm Jeff Finn, CEO at RealNext. Matt's head of our business development team. We're here to help you however we can, to help you implement your RealNext to take your business to the next level. So along the way, if you have any questions, please chime in and we'll do our best to address them. Matt will do his best to slow down and keep it on a speed that everyone can digest, but if he needs to repeat anything, gladly, and of course we will have a recording and get it back out to you early next week. So if you need to review and share, you'll have access. Matt, I'll let you take it away.
Thanks, Jeff, and I am excited to be on here for magical marketing. I've never been good at magic tricks, so we're going to show you a couple of tricks that are up my sleeve that I am going to hopefully by the end of this convince you how it is the way to win more deals in faster and more efficient ways. As Jeff mentioned, I'm going to try to go as slow as I can. However, sometimes it does pick up speed. You'll be able to review this, fast forward, rewind, put it in slow motion on YouTube as we put these recordings up on our site. So if you don't know about RealNext, we are a one place, one price, one login solution for commercial real estate. We have a new offering coming out here real shortly. We'll be providing RX data, so look on that side. So we can help you out with pretty much all your commercial real estate needs, from the beginning of the deal to the end of the deal, and all in between, including the side for data, marketing, collateral, CRM, transaction management, you name it, we feel we got it, virtual reality with inside of our program. So if you're a RealNext subscriber, thanks for your business. We appreciate you as always. If you're not, you'll start seeing how magical marketing is going to work and how some of our clients are winning the deals that they are. RealNext is broken up of 4 main components, and all 4 of them have sections of marketing that is magical, and we're going to focus in on 3 of them here today. So the first one is we do have a class-leading CRM built for commercial, including a full property repository, so you can start targeting out those properties when you want to market to those owners for representation, for their leasing needs, or maybe get an owner to sell, companies in there to showcase that why they should do business with you as a tenant rep with that. And we're going to be talking about that portion of the CRM, and I'll walk you through kind of how fluid things can be. And in our program, there's going to be a couple different ways that we can take our marketing collateral and give it out and give it digestible, and one of them is in our Real Campaigns section. And Real Campaigns is fantastic because it can do a couple things. And the first thing Real Campaigns allows you to do is it allows you to take any email and make it into a personalized message. And one of the things that our Real Campaigns can do is it can have the ability for you to do your outreaches. So maybe you want to put in some magical marketing on, you made a phone call on Monday and you want to send an email out on Tuesday, and then you want to send an email out on Friday and so forth. You can create these marketing campaigns that take fields within inside of the program and merge them. Now, some people are like, well, how's that magic? Well, I'll show you how it's magic. What's really neat about this is you have the ability to create a letter that looks like it's individualized for anybody. And in that letter, someone's going to get it, but it's not just a letter, it's going to be a mass email. I was talking about it on Wednesday morning, we were going through, or Tuesday morning, I'm sorry, we were going through a class, and they said one of the things that I really love about RealNext is your marketing and how I can do a merge letter. So one of the really neat things with inside of the RealNext program is the ability to do these merge letters, and I think it's magical because we can make it like a letter. So dear, and then dear who, dear what, dear why, and here's how we can start putting our messaging with inside of them. And I went ahead and I pre-built one of these templates here. And my template that I did was just a simple follow-up on a lease expiration. And what it does is it takes out the dear, the recipient's first name. I want to notify you of your upcoming lease expiration on, and it talks about the tenant information or the space information or their lease expiry, or maybe you have buyer requirements or tenant requirements. Last, you told me you were looking for space between X, Y, and Z and ABC. It also can have your information, and then it fills it in with that other information that you may want by simply clicking these three little dots. Now you might ask me, why did I start with this and not go into something with beautiful graphics and pictures and everything? Is because I think a lot of people can relate to creating something, and we want to create something that's magical, but we also want to show you how simplistic things can be in our program and how easy and quick you're started. If you have the RealNext CRM, you do have 200 email sends you can do, so you can start doing this as soon as you get off the call with me today. When you hit preview, it'll allow you to preview what your email would look like, and you can see here it is going down through and it is automatically saying Dear Joseph, Dear Donald, Dear Michelle, and so forth. You can even schedule it for a future time. So if it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and you're like, hey, I don't think people want to see an email at 1 o'clock, I want them to see an email first thing in the morning, you can even schedule that for Friday, and we're going to put it Friday AM, and let's put it here for 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock AM, and you can schedule that email out. You can put in any subject line you want, and be careful when you put a subject line on. Make sure it's not misleading, and make sure it doesn't have a bunch of symbols and so forth, so it gets right in through their spam filter. But I have the ability to send this to 1,212,000. Obviously, in your subscription, you're going to have 200 or 1,000, or maybe you have 10,000, 50,000, or 100,000, depending on how many emails you send you have. And this really hits home because this is something that you can do right now, right after you get off the call, is you have an easy way to create that email out to your clients. You also have the ability to tie in all your listings and so forth with inside of those campaigns. Another way to create some beautiful marketing collateral, and I was working with some clients again this week where they're out prospecting for new deals. And I said, so when you go out and you're prospecting for these new deals and you get someone that's interested in selling, what do? Well, we have to pitch to win their business. Great. So how do we make some of that marketing collateral, and how do we do some of that? And one of the things that we were talking about is the ability with the RealNext mobile app is to stand in front of a building like this building right here and hit auto address and take some pictures to create a brochure or flyer. And you can simply hit analyze, market, and go to, and that'll create some marketing collateral. You can also have some professional photography created, and that can be easily uploaded. Or depending on how good you're getting with your iPhones, and I've seen some magical iPhone pictures, you can create one more to the aesthetic pleasing portion here. So remember, RealNext is not only going to have your contacts for you, but it's also going to help you out for your prospecting and your marketing needs with that. So when you have your property in there, we have the ability to take not only your 1 picture, your 2 pictures, and your 3 pictures and put them in here. A client a few weeks ago says, well, we put all our pictures in OneDrive, and then OneDrive, we upload them into our CRM program. And then from there, then we put them into InDesign. And I said, that's a lot of work. What you can do is simply take the pictures and you can drag and drop them into our program. You can come over here to attachments and you can drag and drop them if you had them professionally done. You have 15 pictures professionally done, drag and drop them into here. You can use our mobile app out in the field. And then when you want to create any kind of marketing collateral, you just go ahead and hit analyze. This button will appear and say go to, and it's going to take that information and start to create that marketing collateral. Now, depending on what kind of marketing collateral we want to create is dictated by, do we just want to create a presentation? Do we want to create a presentation with a rent roll that shows an available space, or do we want to do a full offering? And sometimes we're really not sure where we want to go or how we want to take it. So these boxes down in here is filled in automatically from the RealNext CRM program if you're using it. It fills in the property name, it fills in the property address to bring in your demographics and retail mapping. Purchase price is not needed. However, we can show you how to create a purchase price based upon some simple income and expenses. If you do have your unit mix or rent roll, it will be brought in here again. So if you have an available space for lease, you can create a flyer within a matter of minutes. If you have any additional land fields, building fields, or overview fields, they'll come in from the CRM, or you can simply populate them right in here, like property description, property overview, and location overview. Now, if we just want to go ahead and we want to create a simple one-page flyer, you simply go to presentation. You come over here and go to file, you go to templates and RealNext templates. Now, see how it says office for me automatically? RealNext is smart enough to know what property type you have. Now we have office. Now I come down here to origination or orientation, I'm sorry. Now I want to have Annie. So maybe I want to see what landscape and portraits are available to me. And then if I want it for sale or for lease, it's going to go ahead and show me which ones that are going to be available for templates I can select. And if I select template type, it shows me all of them. So we have every template you can possibly imagine built for you, from broker opinion of values to for lease, for sale or for lease, maps, no maps, spaces. We even have things like sale, leaseback, lease first buy, broker opinion of value, proposal. You just choose what you want. And once you choose what you want, like flyer, I want a flyer with map and spaces. You select it, you hit open, and now it's going to go ahead and help you create that beautiful layout for what you had. Now this went ahead and took my picture. Now in my picture, I can do a couple things. I can change my image and I can move it around in different places. I can make it smaller, I can make it bigger. I have the ability to resize my images. I have the ability to add links in my images. I have the ability to change a lot of things in here so I can make sure I have the best picture for the best process. I can show my available spaces, and it brings in over any data directly from the CRM program. I can choose a terrain map. I can choose a satellite map. I can even choose a hybrid map. I can choose a zoom in. And if I want, and you know what, I really don't like the way this one looks, I can go back in and I can change from any of the designs that I want, and I don't have to re-enter any of the information. There you go. Now I have something here just like this. Now from here, I can go ahead and I can add additional pages if I choose to. Or if I want to build it out from my initial flyer of meeting with the client, again, I can simply go over here to templates, RealNext templates, and I can choose what I want. So I can go from a flyer to a full offering, or from a flyer to a broker opinion of value. And all that template is all built right inside of our program, and I hit open. And now you're going to have this beautiful marketing package that you've created within a matter of minutes. Again, you want to move your image up here. We want to change the picture around. Want to move things, you can just drag and drop it. There we go. Now we picked our picture where we want. It'll also have your company logo. So instead of saying your company here, this will have your logo. You can add your colors to it. If you want text in a different area, you can add your own text right on there. So put our own text here. We wanted to add some different attributes that we wanted. We really like this cover page, but we wanted to add some different text. We have the ability to do that right on there, and we can draw on that page. We can add up to, I think it's 4 additional brokers. So if we want to add additional contacts, I can show additional contacts in here. And now I have the additional contacts I can add right into this page. If it's international, I can change different languages, and the photo library is where you upload all your photos to. As you create these, we have segment pages in here that you can add images to and edit those to really make your marketing sing by coming in here and adding a custom photo. So when you add a custom photo in here, it will show you what that photo will look like. And let's go and put what this is, because this is medical office. We want a nice little chair in here, and now it's going to lay in the back. I mean, how cool is that? And the title is going to appear on that section of the report. Your property photos. We give you how many pixels it is or how many inches you have for those photos. And it's easy as coming in here and selecting your photo. But you know, I really want to go and I want to have 2 photos, but I don't like 2 photos like that. I want 2 photos like this. You know, I really think 4 photos would look better for this one. Now I can add my 4 photos right in here. And I'm starting to really start making a beautiful package as I create this here. Your business maps will automatically appear with logos if available. You can zoom in and zoom out. You can also add your own polygon and your own text to any one of these marketing pieces. We give you full demographics, 1, 3, and 5 mile radius. And then any of your financials that you put in for any of these packages can create all your graphs for you. They create your loan analysis, your pro forma, and everything else. One of the recent things that we've been seeing is marketing packages getting very large because people are using high resolution pictures like we do on our iPhones now to create these packages. Sometimes they become too big to distribute in email. Well, one of the things that we do here at RealNext is we have an e-publication. So we can keep things as simple as writing just a quick little letter and going, hey, Tom, it was nice meeting you at SIOR in Dallas last week, and send that out to 100 people. And we're going to track your opens and clicks from it. To creating a single flyer, to taking that flyer into a full offering. And now we have a full offering, and see how cool that page is. I mean, you can't get any cooler than that. It's putting in my building price and my square footage, the number of floors and the property overview. And this is incredible how it's doing all this for you automatically. And then your client has the ability to, oh, you know what, let's take a look at this summary of the lease. I want to look at that. Oh, perfect. Now I can start seeing what my cash flow is. And if I want to download it as a PDF, I can simply download it as a PDF. So you can create something as simple as a one-page flyer to a full 184-page offering like I have here, or maybe you just want to create a 3 or 4-page broker opinion of value. But nonetheless, the RealNext team, and more importantly, Demetrius and Jeff Finn, were the ones that created all these for you. So whether you're doing land, retail, industrial, office, hospitality, healthcare, self-storage, shopping center, multifamily, whether you're a hardcore landscaper or super portrait person or any of the above, you have the ability to select them, choose them, and then see all the templates of hundreds of templates we have pre-built for you. And if you want to go ahead and you want to create them for your company, you can take those and you can save those for your company. So you have your top 4 or 5 that your company uses. And you can even create your own like I have here. Here's a blank one. Here's my broker opinion of value. Here's my full offering. I've created one for introduction, and here's one for a loan sample. And you can see how easily that works. I'll show you how on some of these here.
Matt, before you jump ahead, so when you're looking at those templates, the idea is that we created, based on best practices that we found across the industry, the type of format for a BOV or an OM or the various different reports. But if you want to change any of them, you can change the RealNext template and then make it your company template that would be available to all of your agents, so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. And if they have things that add their personal touch to it, then they would make it their template. So it could be the same thing as the company, but it always has their profile versus somebody else's profile. So it could be as simple as just the change of profile, or it could be their a team page or a company collateral page, or you could have a transaction history, or various case studies. So different things that or you just different sections, and you want to take out some of the things that we had in, or add some things that we don't have as PDFs and special pages. One of the things that you also can do, and Matt, I want you to show it here, is what real magical piece is what we call a custom global page. So you can create certain pages within your system that are just for you. We found so many people had great design teams and people that were creating content, and we didn't have a pre-built page that fit, and they were doing work outside of the system and bring that in as a PDF. But we built global pages that can now merge content into a format that's built to your exact specification. So all of these different formats come pre-built, and then you can adjust them even further. So there's dozens of them. They start with a grid of columns and rows, and then as you can see, there's grab handles that you can adjust and plug in a widget to each one of these sections, so it knows that those two are supposed to be pictures. That middle section might be a headline, and then you can have bullets or text below. So you tell the page what it should do, and that's going to draw from your database and bring that information down automatically. So you're not doing what Matt's doing. Once it's built, it's going to automatically feed into this on your next one, and your next one wants to save it as a global page and embed it in one of your templates.
You can also draw on the global pages as well. Like I mentioned before, I think drawing was something that I really enjoyed having because I might want an additional text box up here, or we might want to talk about certain attributes of the property. And a lot of design templates that we saw were static, and whether those were InDesign or any other program that's out there, they were completely static, and they didn't have the flexibility for a normal human being to utilize them. And if you talk to anybody that's used InDesign, it's extremely difficult to utilize. So those custom pages, like Jeff mentioned, your marketing team can create them and so forth. And you do have things like your agent bio that you may want to have, or your agent bio with your team. And you can expand or contract any of that, or your last couple of pages. And as I was showing here is, this one here is just a certain page, just, property and presentation. And wow, there we go. We got something like that. But if we want to change it into landscape or anything else, we do have the ability to do so. And you can see in different asset classes, whether you're doing multifamily, you're doing medical office, you have industrial, retail, single tenant, multifamily, and then I even have one in here for development. And you can see just what the different layouts look like. And this one here is with available spaces. Now, this is making fantastic marketing collateral. And now if we wanted to take it to the next levels where we win that assignment, we can create a deal room. And these become really popular where we have the ability to create a private deal room where our clients can download the CA electronically, sign off on it, and then have the ability to access any of the due diligence material throughout. Go ahead, Jeff. I was on a website yesterday and they had a CA and I signed off on it and I didn't get anything. And I waited and I waited and I got nothing and I still have nothing. And with our program, the nice thing about it is when the client goes ahead and registers the deal room, this one here I apparently don't have access to, but once you go ahead and you go into the deal room here and you have your documents in there, and let me pull one up here that's completed. Once you have your deal room in there and you have all your folders in there, like contract and due diligence and so forth, you can set security levels. And then your client, when they go ahead and log in, they're going to see a login page just like this with your logo, your information. And then as soon as they log in and sign off on the CA, they're going to have access to the documents. So if they're doing this at 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're in a meeting or lunch or on vacation, they have access to the documentation instantaneously. They don't have to wait for you to send it and then for it to go to spam and so forth. And then this information is recorded not only inside of the RealNext Market Edge right in here to see who logged in or who didn't log in, it's also recorded back in the CRM portion. So you can take action and see that information wherever you're at 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As you're taking this collateral and you have this beautiful marketing collateral, whether it's an industrial property, multifamily, land, or anything else, we do have the ability to take this and to create a nice email marketing campaign. So we simply say,
before you jumped out, Matt, a couple of questions came, so I just wanted you to stick here for a second. Could you go back to the global page for a minute?
Yeah, you can go to global page in any one of them.
Yep, and then a question from the audience was, how do you save how do you create a custom page and make it a global page?
Yeah, so what you do is it's kind of hard, and I'll see if I can get the little thing right here. It says manage global pages. So when you go ahead and you go manage global pages, if you click on that here, it allows you to say add new, customize page, and you'll customize that page right in here. That's usually the best way to customize a page, is do it right inside of this section here. And then this will allow you to go ahead and rearrange the rows, and you can drag and drop where you want some of the information. You can delete, and again, if you're not sure what you want to do, you say select layout, and then this is going to give you, if you click on this little button here, it says examples, and it gives you examples. Dynamic means you can drag and drop. Full page is just that, it's just a full blank page, and then the rest of them are all pre-built. That, again, it doesn't have the data, it just gives you an example of what it would be pre-built with. And if
it's not pre-built, then show how you add a new section, new column, new row, new.
Yeah, I mean, you can just, you can just keep dragging different things into here. I mean, you can get as crazy as you want to, and then move that.
Oh, you just go left or right to where you want to go, up or down, below or above certain thing, and it's just going to add that section for you. So you can keep adding, and it will keep building it out. The other question was, Matt, I they want to see how you automate the BOV process and create your BOV content?
Yeah, so the way for the broker opinion and value, obviously, to work the best is we start from the property side of things. On the property side, we could have a purchase price or not. We might not know what the purchase price for the property would be. That's something that we're going to analyze. So in here, the most important thing you want to take note is when you're creating that BOV is down in here where it says building fields is number of tenants. If you're coming from the CRM, it should automatically populate with your number of tenants if you have the rent roll. But if you have 3 tenants, it's 3. If you have 40 tenants, it's 40. And if you have 3 unit mixes, it's going to be 3 for the mixes. So in here, and then any assumptions that you would put in. So any value of land, and then let me actually go to one that's a full financial analysis here on this medical office that I was running. This one here, so we can go to the assumptions page, and then the assumptions is where we're going to put in our value of land. The other stuff, don't worry about your overall discount rate and so forth. Vacancy, again,
well, you need to worry about it. Those do have value. So there are some people that have more financial modeling desires than others. So you can put in and apply different discount rates that are important to look at the investment analysis for when cash flow comes in and how it moves and how you get it reinvested to know what the overall return would be.
Yeah,
so it's important, but you don't. It's not a finance class right now, but I think to those, we have it as you need it to plug in those data fields, and then you come in and you can apply your income and expense.
Yeah, and I apologize. I should have used a different terminology. For the broker opinion and value, I wouldn't worry about that. For a full financial underwriting, totally. So, and then from here, again, if you have the rent roll inside the CRM, it all comes across. You can import the rent roll, and you can see here I have availability. If you're managing this building as the leasing agent and you have an availability, you can always just select one of these available, and it creates that available flyer for you. Again, things are real simple in our program. I'm not going to get into the full underwriting, but it does have the ability to underwrite each one of your spaces. So if there's a percentage for each year, or if there's a flat fee per month, or per year, or per square footage, you can do that. And if there's a mix of it all, you can mix it all as well. So if retail user 101 has a percentage of increase, and retail user 2 is $1,000 flat fee, per month or per year, it'll calculate that all based upon a discounted cash flow. Any miscellaneous?
I wouldn't go into, again, we don't need to go in depth about because there's a financial course or a seminar that Dr. Fisher did, but just in the template itself, how do you build the BOV? Once, assuming that you've put in your investment, your income and expense information, and we've got to look at the comps. So we really look at the BOV from a couple of different aspects: the comp side and the income side. So
yeah, so again, everything's been pre-built by RealNex. It selected office for me. It doesn't matter for landscape or portrait for what I'm doing. I typically like portrait. A lot of people have done so much landscape, I decided to go back to portrait. In this case, for sale or for lease doesn't mean anything. I simply selected opinion of value or broker opinion of value as BOV. I highlighted my broker opinion of value in red, and I hit open. And now what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and create the broker opinion of value template for me. Now you can see here I have a beautiful cover page with my detailed information. This is going to give me a property summary. What about the property? Any property photos I want to add in here for the valuation. Again, my property photos I can choose to add depending on the pixels that were in here. And sales comps all pull from the CRM as well. You simply just hit edit page, add edit comps. You can pull them from an Excel spreadsheet, or you can pull them directly from the CRM and select the comps you want. They'll map out for you, they'll graph for you, and then you can simply go down to the broker opinion of value. In the broker opinion of value, you can see I have a conservative, average, and aggressive. And I simply got there by hitting on the right-hand side, edit page. And then I went to income method, and I choose the cap. I chose a cap rate between 7 and 9. And again, you can go ahead and change them any which way you want, and that's going to base your evaluation based upon that. So it's taking.
So what you want to do here, and Matt, open that back up again. These are numbers, but in the summary, you want to put your description of what you did and what your thoughts were and how you got to where you got. So in the from your income method, you can tell the story. From your comps, you can tell your story, and then the summary, you tell your story, and then you have all of the information that you need to present your BOV with your stamp on it. So it's not just the number, but it's based on the range and the information and how you adjusted certain comps, why some were better than others, and how they needed to be adjusted. You end up with the full report.
Yeah, and you have the ability to adjust your comps based upon average, superior, inferior, and so forth. And that'll give you your adjusted sales price and adjusted sales price per square footage. And then you can add simple things like your disclaimer down in here, or your professional bio, or anything else you'd want to do from there. And then from that broker opinion to value, again, you just simply say select templates, RealNext templates. Now you click on offering memorandum, portrait, and you hit open, and all the work you did in your evaluation now comes across into your full marketing collateral. And now you can
before you jump into marketplace, and you talked about how you shared it. You could share this with a link or a PDF, but in your OM, can you show how you create a website? Because we can create a website straight from the.
Yeah, you can create a personal Market Edge website right from here. So you say Market Edge website, and you can choose what information you want in that and how you want it to look. If you want flyers or alternative contacts, you want to show inventory or even a video, maybe it's going to be a virtual tour link for VR. And now we're going to go ahead and create that. In a matter of seconds, we created a website, and now we have a personal website for it. There's also another way to have a website. I'll show you here in a bit, but there's a deal room link. You can see the investment, any financials, charts, any photos, and you can see all the different photos that are inside of there. Location overview, contact information. If I had inventory, you'd see that as well. One of the things to remember that I think is really neat about our digital e-publication is they are tracked. So if I come over here to alerts, I can actually see that somebody viewed my website and someone viewed the e-publish. It doesn't tell me who viewed it, but if I sent out the website to one person, I sent the e-publish to another person, I would know that they opened it. And then I have the ability to call them. Now, please don't call them right away and say, hey, Jeff, I saw you open my email. Just call them and call them in a timely manner and say, I just wanted to follow up and make sure you got my e-publication of 1234 Medical Tower. And they would say, yes, I just opened it up. I'm looking through it right now. So again, don't scare them, but it does track that. So it's neat to be able to see your statistics right inside the program, and you can see it by the upper left-hand corner right in there and see that.
Speaking of that, do you want to share how that worked in the CRM with Real Campaigns?
Yeah, so inside of Real Campaigns, anytime we send out an email marketing campaign, we do have the ability to track whether they opened it, clicked or not. And you can see here that it was delivered, but when it says delivered, it means that it's been delivered, but nobody's opened it. Now, not everybody's going to know that, so it's really neat if you click the eye on the right-hand side, you hit show statistics, and now you can see the statistics right here. So again, I started out with the simplistic of here's something you can do instantaneously right now, create a nice email and send it out to everybody. Say, hey, thanks for coming to the webinar today. It comes out just like a note. If you want to add in different things like HTML, you can, but it also tracks your opens, clicked, and opt-outs, and that's really something super important. Your bounced emails, you can take them and put them into a group, and you can have a research team. Maybe you want to go to one of those research companies like that's out there, like Fiverr or something like that, and have them find the correct email, or use something like RealNext's Never Bounce. You can track if someone clicked on it, if there was a hyperlink, and call those people first, and then call the people that opened it second, and then call everybody else third. You can also add this to a history to build that marketing activity report. If you're creating an activity report for a property that's for sale or for lease, and you can track that back in the project section of things. But it becomes really powerful because you can not only create a letter for it, like a merge letter, but you can also add your inventory in there. And one of the things that this does here is, and I didn't get to it yet, but I'll get to it right now. is we can go ahead and we can say Market Edge property website. I think it's in here, right? And then we can say email down at the bottom. And then what I can do is I can email this content. So this is just the one property, but maybe I want all my properties that I have that are active, which is right here. And now I can say copy HTML. And when I go back to my real campaigns, again, I'm just showing everybody from just a layman's terms. Like I'm not a marketing wizard. I can say, come over here, email, hit select. We try to do as much in real time as we can so you can understand how simple it is. So now I hit Control A, Control V, and paste, and now I have my opportunities there. You see how cool that is? And this is from a real world example. I'm not doing this, preparing 8 hours for this, and we're doing this 100% live. Now I can preview and see what my email looks like. That's a pretty cool email. I can add something like, dear so-and-so, here's the 3 opportunities we talked about. And it would put their name and information in there, and I can schedule it for a future date if I want. So again, it's just a fantastic way to utilize that.
One more thing in that preview, which I think is fantastic. I think everyone's used to the mail merge where you're able to create and say, dear Matt, dear Jeff, and so everyone's going to get that. But what if you really want to personalize it? So you can't just say, dear Jeff, please review the attached thing. If you had lunch with me today, so you might want to say something like, for me, dear Jeff, hey, it was great to see you this afternoon. Based on what we were talking about, I really think you're going to like the Anywhere 123 property. And to Matt, you might say, hey Matt, last week when we were talking, I know you were really interested in the Washington Avenue deal, so you might want to take a look at that. So even though you mass create with something that's going out to 100, you can let them all go if they are generic, but if you really want to personalize it, each one of them could be individualized as a review, and you know that you want to do something special, or it could be put a PS at the end or something that you might want to say just to really put your personality into it, and then you can let it go, and then you've got the sort of a mass customized mailing with merge fields as well as even further customized content and the tracking of who's seen what, who's looked at it, and who's opened it. So it's a really powerful tool.
Yeah, and then again, if you want to change any of the things here, you can change the columns, and you can, pull this out and make this bigger. I'm not an email master by any means, but that looks better than what I had before. And again, I just want to have everybody understand how easy it is to put a link in, an additional photo, and it goes to that personalization that everybody wants. It's not, I feel like I'm in a drip campaign, like I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day of drip campaigns. I just get the same emails with the same content from the same people, from everything, and this just makes it different. And you can send one by one, and you can send 5 at a time and 10 at a time and 100 at a time. You don't need to send 1.2 million at a time like I do. You can send those at a time. You also have the ability to send yourself a test email if you want to choose that from there. But it's really cool to really start adding value to your contact records. It's great to be able to streamline those properties and to take your current inventory and to not have to be a marketing wizard. And if you are a marketing wizard, it just makes you that much faster and more efficient. To take it from a flyer to evaluation to a full offering, and we've done all the legwork. And I say I take the credit for Jeff and Demetrius for doing that, but they spent weeks and weeks and weeks of all the professionals out there and how to build these profiles and templates for you. Please take advantage of them. And then as we want to go ahead and take our property to market, I can simply go ahead and say create, and it takes all that work that I've done inside creating that full offering, and now it's creating a listing. If we have an integration into your website, which we now have an API to do, if you want the SEO, we can put an API plug in there, or we can put a simple iframe. Once you make this active and searchable, it'll go right up to your website. You can syndicate it out to other sources if you want to have your property broadcasted to other sources as well. If you want the property undisclosed or you don't want a price, you can undisclose the price. You can also go ahead and select the property on a map if it's a piece of land, or sometimes Google addressing is not perfect. We went with Google instead of Apple. No offense, Apple, but sometimes you take us in the wrong direction. So hopefully it's going to be more right than not. But now we have an easy way to create a shareable section on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, email, tie in the deal room right here so we can add in our deal room that we just created a little while ago. We have the ability to select any one of those deal rooms, and now we can create that campaign. Now remember, it's also going to appear on your website. So it's up on your site. People are searching for that. It's automating that process. This is one of our easy iframes that plug right in. It's got contact us forms. It's got demographics. It shows your agents and your listings. Again, we can customize an iframe, an API and have it flow right in. And you can use any one of our beautiful templates and create a fantastic marketing package, listing presentation, and email. So, again, this one here, I was working on an analysis on it, so I didn't get a price, but it's around $89 million. So if anybody wants to buy it. This one here I was working on, so 89 million. That's square footage here. I guess I need to look what I'm doing. So it's not 89 million, but you can see here how we can start creating different packages here and different additions to our email blast, any deal highlights and pictures. I really don't like this picture, so I'm going to go ahead and change this picture, and I'm going to say edit image, and now I can go here and select what image I want. And this one looks really neat. I'm going to edit that image right there, put that one down. This one doesn't look perfect here. It didn't fit how I wanted it to. I can change the size. So I do have the ability to change the size and the height of this picture. So let's just go here and change the size and height. I can go ahead and change that now. I'm doing this live, so it's not perfect, but after a couple seconds, I'm sure I can get that email perfect for you, and then you can go ahead and send it out. I was working with a team at Hawaii yesterday, more specifically Maui, and they said, look, we're doing one of two things. One is we have a brokerage arm, and two, we have a syndication arm. And how do I get my property out there to the masses? One is you can use your database of users. All your email groups or all your groups are available to email out directly in your CRM. So anybody that you have or you want to make a group up of, you can do so right in here. You also have the ability to email our community. And when I showed the client for $129, you can email our community, the chairs just fell out. And it's just incredible that you can email our community for $129 per blast. So if you have a national asset that you want to get out there, maybe you're syndicating a deal, maybe you have a single tenant net lease deal, or maybe you have something that's great for a company to move over. You have available lease space and you think it'd be good for a national tenant firm, or maybe you have something for the state or your CBSA. It's as little as $49 for your MSA market. It's super inexpensive. And again, you can email your own private list through here. You can customize the email. So if your marketing team is creating them and you want it to be replied to somebody else on your team, you can do that. And you can schedule it for a future date. And like everything else, we are tracking all the statistics on it. So you can see the statistics on your listings. You can see the statistics on your emails. And then you can take those statistics back in from your emails and you can send them right back into the CRM program. So you can start taking action. So instead of having it in MonkeyChimp where people are clicking the email and you're sending it over to your sales team to call and follow up with them and they're not doing anything, you can just say unique clicks, unique opens, bounced, create a group. They come back in the CRM and they say follow-up call list. Here's my follow-up call list. You can even see where your clients are clicking those emails on a map. So if you want to see, hey, we have a national, a national tenant that can fill this space. Let's see where the tenants are looking at it. Well, here's the tenants. And then you can put it into like my little game changer here and start calling each client to see if they want to buy, lease, sell, whatever you need to do, all right in one program. And it gives you that flexibility to do everything you need. So hopefully we've given you some really great thoughts on how to have some magical marketing, from merge letters to personalized letters one by one, to marketing that sizzles, web pages, flyers, full offering, broker opinion of values, email marketing, listing syndication, listings on your website, and how it all ties in so it can be a lean, mean deal winning machine. And more importantly, how much time it saves. Maybe it's not going to win you. but it'll give you some time to go back on Facebook.
Matt, the questions coming in on deal rooms. How do people use them? And the question is it just for due diligence, for a specific buyer, or for all buyers? And so we have 7 levels of security, and you can bring people, all of your prospects, and allow them to register for the deal room. One of the great sort of advantages of the way this is built is that you can develop your prospect list in CRM, send an email marketing campaign, a teaser campaign out with a link to your property website or to the marketplace listing, and then drive people into the deal room if they're interested. Once they come in and register with the CA, then they're in at a basic level where they can get, maybe you put the OM there. And to get to the next level, they would need to submit an LOI, for example, or you would just need to authorize them for based on whatever characteristic you want. And so at the LOI, you might have another level of due diligence that you're opening up. And then once they sign the contract, you have another level. So maybe there's 3 levels like that. And then you have a different basket that only the banker is going to see. And then maybe another place where the client and you are talking, or you with one specific buyer, you're loading up special information for them. So you can use the different tiers and the different levels of security to segment how you want to allow people to come in and have access to different types of information. So most people are using it for that, but it is also a document vault, and you could use it just among your team to share information if you'd like to.
Yeah, and one thing that I can show you here, but I probably won't, because every time I do it, it uploads a ton. So I don't really have like a good example. But just want to let you guys know that this is all drag and drop. So if you have files right now on your hard drive, right, and I'll take my Excel one here, and you have a file for due diligence, and you have a bunch of files in there. See how it's uploading all these? You don't have to go ahead and upload them one by one. This uploaded 100 files that I have in here, and it's going to put it in one folder, and it's going to allow me to select a security level in one shot. So if you have 10 folders and you have all these folders like I have right here, but you have them on your desktop, you can drag them right into here and you can set up your deal room within minutes. This is not something that takes a long time to do. It's really important that people understand that. They like, hey Matt, I do this someplace else, but great, let's calculate how long it takes you. Well, it took me an hour and a half to build a deal room, right? I did it in 36 minutes in RealNext. So what can you do with another 54 minutes of time? A lot. And that's what some of the things we talk about. And we didn't even get into when we're talking about marketing that sizzles. You got to check out our private secure tour books. These are super cool. These are digital tour books, and I know I'm going way over. I'm getting too excited. But these are tour books. You can generate tour reports. You can generate tour books. Your client can download a mobile app and talk about marketing that is magical. This is cool because it turns anybody into a web developer where your client can download an app and pow, there's all those properties right in their mobile app. So you can say, hey, we got a customized mobile app for you to tour with. They can take pictures in the field and rate spaces. You can create a tour book with a click of a button, and it generates a tour book for you. You don't even have to design it. So that's another magical marketing, but it's so hard to fill everything in. We took an extra 6 minutes to talk about the VOV part, and we went over by that time, and we're over 20 minutes past what our time is. So there's so much to go over here and so many cool things. I can spend months on it.
So just one more thing before we wrap up then. So, but everyone's hanging in, so it seems like they're enjoying what you have to say. How do we link RealNext to CoStar is the question. So RealNext doesn't link to CoStar, and I'm not exactly sure of the question, but what we do have is an import service where we have a new, not the import property, but our imports. That we automate the workflow to be able to import CoStar, Reonomy, build out and comps as a monthly service. So you can subscribe to our import service, and this with its new utility, every time you get an update from one of these services, you can bring it in and it automatically flows into and integrates and perfectly aligns with the RealNext structure and gives you a roll up and consolidation and with without duplication and other issues that could otherwise come up. So very neat new service that we're rolling out with our data product.
And the neat
So you
thing
might
too,
want to check that out.
yeah, and if you have this data product here, and as your team is scaling, and someone is coming from a database like any one of these other databases here, you can use this tool to bring in their database right into your system as well. So if they're using a third-party database besides RealNext, and you scale your company up, great. You can use that same tool to bring in your Reonomy and your CoStar and other data right into our program. And then you also do have the ability to use our import wizard built into the program. It's not automated like the import tool is. And I didn't really touch base on it, but we'll be releasing an RX data tool here that will populate with data as well. So if you want to use something besides CoStar, Reonomy, or something to maybe supplement or enhance or enrich your data, you can use the RX data to do that, and then you'll have the best of all worlds within the program. And then you have a program that uses that data to apply it to win business. So hopefully everybody enjoyed our presentations, and you can see as we go through here, you guys are the ones and gals are the ones that are dictating how we do the presentation. Jeff and I don't spend hours working and rehearsing it. It's something that on the fly we're going over and we're talking about what you want to do and how you want to do it, and it's all done live. So if we can do it, you can do it, and we'd love to hear your success stories. I just heard one recently of a client that utilizes our solution, and they're amazing. Crested $1 billion in transactions as of October. So congratulations to them, and hopefully you guys are the next ones.
All right. Well, thanks, Matt. Sorry we went long and took you a little bit longer to cover everything, but there was so much to cover. We appreciate everyone joining us today and your interaction with us to cover even more ground than we had originally scoped, but glad to do it. And we're going to wrap up. Wish you all very happy Thanksgiving. We're going to take a break from our webinars next week to let you enjoy some turkey, and we'll get back the week after with the next round in our series. So look for some information on what's coming up, I guess December 1st, and then we'll take you into the holidays with some more workshops and webinars. So appreciate your time and hope you have a great weekend and holiday.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.